The fog rolled in over the battered fields of eastern Ukraine, wrapping the shattered landscape in a ghostly silence. The sound of artillery had faded for the night, leaving only the distant hum of reconnaissance drones and the faint crackle of gunfire echoing through the trenches. But deep in this silence, something far deadlier was taking shape, a new operation led by Ukraine's elite Azov sniper teams. In the span of just 24 hours, 25 Russian soldiers had been eliminated with surgical precision, each shot delivered from the shadows. To those on the receiving end, it felt as if death itself was moving silently through the mist. For weeks, Azov's reconnaissance units had been gathering intelligence from drone footage and intercepted radio signals. They had identified a weak point in the Russian defense, a supply corridor north of Donetsk, used daily to move ammunition and rations to the front. On maps, it looked secure: trenches, checkpoints, and armored vehicles guarding the route. But Azov's scouts had discovered what the Russians hadn't seen: the blind spots, the gaps between patrols, and the terrain perfect for concealment. When the order came, the sniper teams moved out before dawn, slipping into the ruins like ghosts, their rifles suppressed, their faces painted to blend with the ash-gray rubble. The leader of the operation, known by the call sign Falcon, was a veteran of countless battles since the early days of the war. Calm, precise, and endlessly patient, he was the first to crawl into position atop a shattered apartment block overlooking the Russian line. His spotter, crouched beside him, whispered through static, "3 targets. Range, 780 meters." Wind from the West Falcon steadied his breathing, adjusted for drift, and squeezed the trigger. A sharp crack echoed, followed by silence. The first Russian sentry dropped instantly. 2 more shots came in quick succession. Within seconds, 3 men were down, their comrades unaware of where the shots had come from. Across the front, other Azov sniper teams were already in position. Some lay hidden for hours in shallow pits covered with branches and mud, their rifles resting motionless on tripods. Others moved fluidly between positions, using ruined buildings as cover. Every shot was deliberate, every movement planned. They were not hunting for random kills. They were dismantling command structures, targeting officers, radio operators, and vehicle crews with mathematical precision. By midday, panic spread through Russian ranks. Field radios crackled with reports. "Sniper fire from the west! We can't locate them. They're everywhere." Convoys halted. Troops refused to move across open ground. Commanders demanded artillery support, but their requests were delayed by Ukrainian electronic jamming. The once busy supply corridor was now paralyzed, the Russians too terrified to advance. Overhead, Ukrainian drones circled silently, sending live coordinates back to Azov's command post. The snipers were not acting alone. They were part of a synchronized network linking drones, scouts, and forward observers in real time. In a concealed bunker, a Ukrainian drone operator watched the chaos unfold on a screen glowing dimly in the dark. Thermal signatures revealed Russian soldiers crawling for cover. "Target moving south. Lock coordinates," he whispered into his radio. A moment later, a distant rifle crack echoed. Another hit confirmed. One sniper, identified by his team as Ghost, achieved 7 confirmed eliminations in just 6 hours. His precision was unmatched, his position undetectable even to Russian surveillance drones. Among his comrades, Ghost was known for one rule: he never missed twice. Desperate to respond, Russian units unleashed mortars and heavy machine gun fire toward suspected sniper nests. Explosions tore through the forests and crumbling buildings, sending dust clouds into the sky. But Azov had already repositioned. Their doctrine was fluid: strike, vanish, relocate. Like water, they flowed around the battlefield, impossible to pin down. Every Russian counterattack hit nothing but empty ground. The psychological toll was immense. Rumors spread through the Russian lines. The Azov snipers can see through walls. They fire without sound. They never sleep. By sunset, the confirmed Russian losses reached 25. For a single day, that figure was staggering. The once confident infantry now refused to advance beyond fortified lines. Officers radioed for reinforcements that never came. Even armored vehicle crews weren't safe. One tank commander was struck through the narrow slit of his viewing hatch, a shot fired from more than 600 meters away. Precision like this wasn't luck. It was the result of training, experience, and coordination that had made Azov's sniper teams among the most feared in Ukraine's arsenal. As night fell, the teams withdrew under cover of darkness. Their faces were streaked with mud and exhaustion, but their movements remained disciplined. Back at a hidden outpost, they gathered to review the day's footage, each confirmed hit verified by drone imagery and infrared scans. 25 confirmed kills, 0 Ukrainian losses. Falcon quietly nodded to his men. There were no cheers, no celebration. For them, this was not about numbers. It was about disrupting the enemy, saving Ukrainian lives, and maintaining pressure in one of the most contested regions of the war. Ukrainian command later described the operation as a tactical success, a textbook example of coordination between snipers, drones, and electronic warfare. The strike had halted Russian supply movement for nearly 48 hours, giving Ukrainian artillery a crucial window to advance. But the Azov snipers themselves knew better than to rest. For them, victory was temporary. Tomorrow would bring another mission, another dawn filled with silence and tension. Across Europe, military analysts began studying the event. Reports from British and Polish defense observers noted that Ukraine's sniper doctrine had evolved dramatically since the start of the invasion. With advanced optics, NATO-grade rifles, and drone-assisted targeting, Ukrainian marksmen had transformed sniping into a fully integrated element of modern warfare. Analysts called it the invisible front, a war fought not in large battles, but in moments of silence and single decisive shots. Russian state media downplayed the event, calling it propaganda. But intercepted communications painted a different picture. Soldiers begging for night vision equipment, units requesting relocation, and morale plummeting. The legend of the Azov snipers began to take shape in those terrified whispers. Russian troops called them the shadows, the watchers, the eyes in the mist. Some refused to leave their bunkers after dusk, believing that unseen scopes were already fixed upon them. By dawn, the front line had shifted. Russian troops had quietly pulled back several kilometers, abandoning exposed outposts. Ukrainian patrols advanced cautiously, moving through the ruins of what had been a Russian stronghold. They found discarded rifles, bloodied helmets, and abandoned gear, the silent evidence of a night filled with fear and precision. In less than a day, Azov's snipers had changed the momentum in that entire sector. For Ukraine, the operation became more than just another battlefield report. It was a symbol, proof that intelligence, precision, and discipline could overcome numerical disadvantage. Each bullet carried not just steel, but resolve. These snipers weren't fighting for fame or recognition. They were fighting for every inch of their homeland, for every fallen comrade, and for the belief that Ukraine would endure. As darkness returned once more, the snipers prepared for their next mission. The rifles were cleaned, scopes recalibrated, and new coordinates issued. Somewhere beyond the horizon, another Russian convoy was moving, unaware that Azov's eyes were already tracking them through the night. Falcon looked through his scope one more time, the breath in his chest steady, his finger resting gently on the trigger. Silence once again filled the battlefield, the calm before the next echo of war. The war continued, but for the Russian soldiers facing Ukraine's invisible hunters, one truth had become undeniable. In this modern battlefield, the deadliest weapon is not the tank or the missile. It is the soldier you never see. This has been a report from Delta History, bringing you closer to the stories shaping the modern battlefield.